Hello, everybody. Sorry we're running a little bit late tonight.
Yes, sorry about that. We're running a little behind, but welcome to the Large Scale Consolidated live show. And so, if, like Andrew said, just running behind, and because I'm trying to plan a trip to the NGRC convention, so we had to work around that. But since I'm a little behind, what are we what are we discussing during here first, Andrew, tonight?
Well, the first thing we're going to do is I got a little bit of a presentation ready on how to upgrade the sounds on the Revolution boards. It'll show you how we can actually upgrade the sound on the older Crest-made boards with sound, but it also applies to the newer boards. Just a few steps in the beginning are omitted since they're the newer ones. But let me cue that up here. Let's see here. And everybody that's in the chat, hello, everybody. We'll kind of skip past going through and mentioning everybody tonight since we're late, but we do see all of you in there. We appreciate you tuning in and seeing what we got going on.
Yes, pretty much so. So thank you everybody for showing up tonight on our show.
Where are you at tonight, Dackman?
Well, tonight I am at a good YouTube friend's place tonight. I am at Ravenhawk 6910's house tonight. So that's why you see me at a different type of area. So check out Ravenhawk 6910. He does a lot of nice stuff on rail fans and stuff.
What are you doing in my house?
Wow.
What are you doing in my house? What is this?
Hey, I know that guy.
Deuces.
Good grief.
You gotta have some kind of fun, right? Some kind of entertainment.
I just want to know, when Sterling picked you up, did he show up in a pickup truck with a pregnant wife and a dog in the back, and you had to ride in the back on the way there? Or?
No.
All right. So what we have here is I pre-recorded this a little while ago, but this was I still have it. It's a USA GP9, and it has the older Crest-made board in it with the sounds that we're all so used to. Now, what I'm showing you here is I really don't like the ideal of losing power while I'm in the middle of trying to program something or upgrade it and possibly brick it. So a nice fully charged 18-volt drill battery kind of solves that issue for me. The cap I got on there, one of my friends actually 3D printed that specifically for the battery, which makes it kind of nice. You just clip it on there and you got juice to the track. So for anybody that's forgot, might be a little loud. So that's the sound that everybody that's ever owned Revolution has heard when they turn on their diesel, at least the older Crest ones. And what you're seeing here, this is the USB programming device that Revolution sells that's going to allow us to upgrade that. So you have to go to their website to get the files that you're going to need for this. You used to be able to just go on there and download whatever you needed, and then they made it to where you have to start signing in, which is no big deal. You just have to enter in your name, email, and that, create a password. But once you're once you're signed in, there's a couple different files that you're going to need for what we're doing. Obviously, you're going to need the software for the programmer, and there's 2 versions of it. I'm not sure if the newer one also works with the non-DCC. It seems kind of strange that they had them both listed. I know the version 1 actually works for what I'm doing, so that's what I went with. Now, in addition to that, you're going to need a patch file that goes on there. And you'll notice on there that they'll tell you that, they're not responsible if your board gets damaged. Is it possible you could brick your board? Yeah. I've done several of these and I haven't had any issues, but just their disclaimer that they're not responsible if something happens. But in addition to that, since we're going to use the GP9 sound file, there's also another patch, if you'll notice there. The newer Revolution boards, I'm not sure what they changed, but these last few files they've put out, there's a separate patch you have to apply before you can put those on there. So you have to, obviously we got to download those. And once we have this downloaded, I know this is the boring part, computer things. All of them download as a zipped up file, so you have to extract all of them, unfortunately. So I didn't take too long demonstrating extracting files here. I just kind of went through those rather quickly. Let's see. I see Zachary Riggins in the comments are asking if you can buy that cat. I'd have to check with my friend Zachary and see if he's still making those or not. I see Cody's in the chat. He might be able to help answer that for you. He's friends with him as well. Are you able to see the chat, Sean?
Yes, yeah, I can see it.
Now, one thing I want to point out here, when you go to upgrade those, let me pause that a second, is you, all right, bag it up. You want to make sure before you go to do anything, turn any Revolution remote you have off, because that programming board needs to link with the board that is in the engine. And if that's on, it's going to cause an issue and it's not going to link. So you want to make sure that you turn that off before you go any further. And as far as the programmer, it just plugs in like any other USB flash drive. You'll see it's got a blue light that comes on there. And once it's in there, you just open up the program that we downloaded. It doesn't install or anything. It's just an executable. And you'll go into program, and the first thing you want to do is select the Crest patch file that we have to apply first.
And what does this patched file do?
I'm not 100% sure on that, Sean. I believe, the original ones made by Crest, that company closed and then it opened up again. And I imagine they may have had to make some changes in how the boards work, possibly.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but to be able to go from the Crest produced board to use the sounds for the newer ones, you have to apply that patch. And that will actually, once you load that up there, you'll see it'll start searching, trying to link up with the engine you're doing. Now, the engine that I did this on, I did a pretty exceptional job of hiding the link button to where I couldn't get to it to really show anybody. So this is a different engine I was doing, but I've got the link button underneath the cover. And you're basically going to press and hold in that link button. You'll see the lights will start blinking flash fast. And then once they go to this slow blink, and you only see this on the headlight, not the rear, it should link up. And if we go back to the software, you'll you'll see it'll actually start loading over. And yeah, like like 4-track RR is saying, it updates the firmware on the original Crest boards.
Oh, okay.
So as that loads over and that finishes out, you'll see the lights on the engine will actually stop flashing once that completes. Yep. So once those stop, it should be done with that. Now, I found in between doing the patches, it seems to be best to cut the power to the board and reapply it. So in this case, I just pulled the cap off my battery for a moment to interrupt the power to it. So once you do that, we still have to apply another patch file to this to get to the newer sounds. So once you clear that out, we'll go in and we'll select the next patch file that has to go on there. Let's see here. Yeah. So, and we'll basically go through the same process again. I forgot to clear out the prior one before I loaded that. So once you clear it out, we should be able to load that again, or not again, but the new one. And it'll be the same thing again. Go back, you have to hold the button on the engine. Let's see, I see.
How do you tell which version of board you have?
Well, I'm not 100% sure on that one. We'll have Nico on here in a little bit, and I believe that's a good question. We can ask him. He may have a good idea on that. Because unfortunately, I don't have any of the new boards sitting in front of me at the moment to be able to look at them and tell you. But like I said, it's pretty much the same process as that first patch we put on there. Once it applies, just pull the power to the board for a moment to reset it. And once we've done that, then we can actually move on to the new sound file. Now, something to note too, when you apply those patches, until you apply this new sound file, there's actually no sounds on that board. Like if you try to turn it on, there's not going to be any sound. And something else I was going to mention too, if you may have noticed, is the name of the file for the GP9, I think said GP9A on it. And I wasn't sure why it said that, but my conclusion is they made an upgrade, or rather a fix to the sound file, because I have another GP9 I put that on, and during the shutdown sequence, it just rings the bell continuously. And I noticed when I programmed this other one afterwards, in the shutdown sequence, it doesn't do that. So I'm thinking there was some issue in there that kind of held it up. But you'll notice now that we're actually putting the sound file on there, that it takes a little bit longer. There's a little bit more data that it's pushing across to go into the board. Let's see. I see Cody's in the chat. Cody says he's thinking the stickers are different on them, but he's not completely sure. But once again, it's not. This isn't a really hard thing to do. As you can see, it maybe takes a little bit of time. But one of the reasons why I wanted to show this as well is if you download the instructions that are on the Revo website for how to do this, they're not 100% straightforward. I know Cody and I both, when we first did this, we had to kind of scratch our heads a little bit to try and figure it out. So after we did, I said, it'd probably be a good idea if we just make a video and show everybody. So once again here, you got to go through the link process with the USB programmer for that final sound file. Yeah, exactly. Cody's in the chat. He says, yeah, a few times. I agree.
How many different diesel sounds are there? Is there just a couple, or is there just generic ones? Or
I believe there is generic diesel 1 and 2. There's the SD33. Of course, the GP9. I believe there's an SD60.
Oh, okay.
Once again, I know Nico's watching. Make a note, Nico, because I'm sure
Make a note.
Nico plays with this stuff a lot more. But I think there's like 5 or 6 sound files now for diesels, maybe 3 or 4 for steam locomotives. And I'm actually going to I have an older video that actually demonstrates some of the sound files. Now that there's some more new ones, I think I'm going to redo that video just so everybody can, see what they are. Because if you go to the website, there's no like sample file you can click on or anything to, tell you what they actually sound like. I'm not quite sure why I didn't speed this section up. It's not like we really need to sit here and forever watch this thing load across here. Let's see here. We'll just we'll speed that up a moment. So once it finishes out there, you can go ahead and close that out. And I tripped the power on it one more time just to make sure the board's reset. And if you think back to the beginning here, what the engine sounded like, you'll notice a very distinct difference in it now after this change. So what do you think, Sean? Does that sound any better?
Yeah, I actually like the horn on it too. Sounds good.
Yeah, I really kind of hope that they put some time and money into getting us some sound files for other engines, because I'm really pleased with the sound on that. I mean, it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, does any of the G scale sounds have cab chatter yet, or they're not yet?
I have not seen that at this point yet. Let's see here. Kyle, yeah. I could probably do that for you, Kyle. I just have to actually get your engine.
Yeah, it would only take them 2 years to do it, so.
This is true. This is true.
You still haven't even finished your own projects.
Yes. So, I do have another section of this that I want to show tonight, which is how to upgrade the firmware on the Revo remote itself. And what I may do is I may hold off on that just for the moment because okay. Well, I was going to say I see I had the two guests for 9:15 in there already, but then one of them disappeared. Let's see here. Bear with me a moment here.
Kyle says you have a car of his?
Yes, I do, and Kyle has a tender of mine.
Yeah, I don't see him getting his car back anytime soon.
Well, considering the way the car is made, it's really not suitable for shipping. I have to hand deliver that back to him.
Oh,
So, yeah. All right. So let's see. Okay. So let's see. Oh, what do we got going on here? All right. Apparently one of our guests is having technical issues, I think.
uh-oh.
One second here. All right. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, while you're doing that, Garden River, Charlie says MTH has cab chatter. I forgot about that with the Gauge 1.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the cab chatter is really nice. I like it on the stuff that I've seen it on. All right, let's see here.
We want Cody on the screen.
Cody on screen. We can't do that. People would be blinded by the radiance, you know. So let's see here. So I believe our first two guests are actually ready. Let's see here. So we got Nico and Vincent coming back.
Hey.
Hello again.
And we have Colin as well.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
But before I field questions about repeating guests, this is our season finale, so to speak, because Sean and I are going to take a break for the summer here. So we're actually bringing on just about all of the guests we've had through this first season just to kind of catch back up with them, see what's going on with them, and also more importantly, to thank them because really they're the people that made the show.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Sean and I are not just pretty faces. So we'll start with Mr. Colin there. How have you been, Colin? What's going on?
Everybody can hear me? Yeah?
Yeah, you're good.
Good. Yeah, I mean, COVID has been a whirlwind of time for us to make new products. And I forgot the number, but we made a lot of new products this year. I know Nico and Vincent have been very busy as well. Yeah, so we're about to finish up. We're getting close on our latest project, which is the LGB tank car, coupler box. And then after that, we'll be taking a few months off. Ted has some projects he'd like to work on for himself, and same with me. My garden railroad is being neglected. So yeah. And then aside from Campact box stuff, well, actually on the end of that, I just shipped out the sister car to this guy. This is CPBX 2018 over here. And I just got another car from Charlie Rowe. It's the white beer can car, CPBX 2021 with Campact box lettering on it. And it is actually being toured around the United States.
Wow.
So I just sent it to Steve Jungst to be at the NGRC. And from there, we are working on its tour. So the people that have purchased Campact boxes will be able to sign the car, and they'll be able to take it to their railroad. Kind of like a little tour. I think someone said something about the Lionel Switch Sean, do you know what I'm talking about? The Lionel Switchbox car, where they basically like this one box car toured around the United States and they just sent it to everybody. Same kind of deal.
Yeah.
And so I'm just sending it to all the people that have purchased Campact boxes since 2018, and whoever wants to be a part of the tour, and they'll get to hold on to it, run it on their garden railroad for a week or whatever, take some photos and video and sign it, and then send it to the next person.
So that car will be at the NGRC at the table, or will it be on different layouts during that week?
This car, no. This is the original car, but the white.
I'm at the white one.
The white one will be at the NGRC. I think Steve said he might put it at one of the tables at the NGRC just to show it for the heck of it.
All right, I just want to make sure once I get there, I sort of like highlight and take pictures and video for you.
Sure, yeah, no, it'll be there. You can ask Steve. Just talk to Steve. You'll be the one, and then I think Chris Bamberg is going to take it next, and then from there, we're working on the schedule from where it's going to go. I think it's going to go from Nashville to the East Coast. I know I've got a lot of people in Pennsylvania that that want it. So that's going to be a little circuit around that whole state, and then it's going to come back West Coast back to back home.
Somebody's asked a good question that you could answer, Colin. Do you know if AML will be at the convention, or what's the update on the GP60?
I actually do not. That is a very good question. I have not talked to my people at AML. And yeah, I can ask if there's anybody that's interested in knowing more. They can message me on Facebook, or they can email me at colin@camarillopacific.com. And I'll see if I can figure out if they're going to be there or not.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
Last I heard, there was a certain amount that were getting air freighted in to start getting them shipped. And then after that, the container's actually already on the water, or already in transit with the rest of the engines. That's the last I heard. Whether that's 100% true or not, that's what I heard in the rumor mill.
I mean, I know there's a rumor mill. I don't want to be in high school, but I've been in direct contact with them, and I asked them about what's going on. They said, we really want to make sure we get the electronics right. And that's like a big thing. AML, they do live steam, and they do some electric stuff, but it's very basic electric stuff, right? And they really want to make sure that they make a product that doesn't have to come back to them, right? So
yeah.
And because the only way for them to stay afloat is to make a great product. So I think that if they knock it out, they do it right. Yeah, it might take some time, but with COVID, that has really pushed things back. But I will say that the model that I got to hold in person, oh my God, I think it was great. I can't wait. My SP model, I can't wait for that baby to come in. We already have Campact boxes ready for it. We're this close to finalizing it from the one we got. So yeah, it's gonna be a great model.
Yeah, I'm anxious to get it. I got two myself, and if I got to wait a little bit longer for the electronics to be right rather than get it and then have to send it back or something, I'd rather just wait and get it right.
Yeah, but again, for a company that has not really been into that market, right? So the market that we've got a gap in this market. Aristo-craft is gone, right? So we've got Bachmann and we've got USA Trains, and AML is like, hey, we're here. And so if they want to be able to fill that gap, I think we all need to have the expectation of there may be some speed bumps. If there's none, great, awesome. But I think we should try our best to stick in with them, and that's the only way to keep this hobby going,
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, it's so good to be back on the live stream.
Yeah, I mean, you were our first actual real guest, weren't you, Colin?
I was.
The first show was just Sean and I looking at each other.
Yeah.
No, and actually, I have to thank you, Colin, because after the first show you were on, you actually kind of helped us get the direction we wanted to go in. That first show was just kind of Sean and I talking about our ideals and what we wanted to do, but you came on the way you presented things, and that it really kind of helped us decide what we wanted to do with the show.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great show. I think it needs to keep happening. There are shows out there that I've seen that are like all scales, but I think that this one, what you guys have found is that we don't have something for just the G scale that's that just focuses on what's happening today. Yeah, you can produce something that's we can do a review on the USA trains, or you can do this review. Okay, but that's produced. Like, why don't you just try something that's a little more organic and that's more fluid and that current conversations of what's happening today. We're talking about AML, talking about Bachman with the Dash 9, like all these things like don't happen on every day. So it's like it's great to see like just our whole community getting together and talking about this stuff.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we lost so much as it is, with the Garden Railways magazine and the disappearance of the big show on the West Coast, and there's just a big, huge loss to the large scale community, of what's going now.
I think it's starting to come back, though.
It is.
Yeah,
we're starting to see a swing back up.
Yeah, when I was talking with Dan at Star Hobby, he said the same exact thing, that he sees the G scale community coming back again. There's people buying track and people buying stuff now.
To what Nico said is like Bachman would have never have said, you know what, let's run this if there wasn't some kind of upswing, if there wasn't some interest. So the fact that they are doing that means something to the industry, that hey, there's some more interest in our scale, and they're ready to make it happen, because that's a lot of money that they have to put forward to make that rerun. So, and same with AML, God knows how much money they're putting out for that engine. So like, it's a lot of money that these companies are putting out, because
hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yep, the industry's coming back up. So,
and when I talked to Bachman, the last time I talked to Bachman was in 2019, one-on-one at a show, and he said even with Bachman, their own factory mandates them that they have to make at least a minimum of 500 pieces. So that's their minimum quantity that they have to produce of that one train car, for example, one road number of that one road name. And if they even change the road number, that counts as a different model. They got to make another 500 again. So it was just crazy, the rules that they have to deal with it with.
Yeah. So, Nico and Vincent, what have you guys been up to?
Oh, I just wanted to answer those Revo questions you had before we.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Before I forget, so this was the original Revo board. I don't know if you could.
Let me camera. See if I can zoom you in there.
So that was no sound. Then I sent you a picture. I don't have what's that? Put that up. No.
Yeah, put that bag up there.
No, I don't. I sent you a picture of the second version, the first aristo-craft crest revolution with sound.
So what you showed was the new board?
No, this is the old board. This was the original no sound.
Hang on a second.
I remember that one. I actually do remember that one.
This is my dummy board I use when I'm doing installations, just to get my spacing right for the mounts and everything.
Oh, is it actually the same spacing as the current one?
It is the same spacing. Everything's exactly the same. All the plugs are the same on the back.
Okay. I don't Revo, so I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so this was the original. Then I sent you in the message the second board, which was the first one that had sound.
As I was saying that, I think one of these ones I have is a new one.
Well, I have the new one here also.
Oh, okay.
So if you pick up that picture, I sent it to you. I sent it to you in a message.
He's looking through his Rolodex.
All right. So you showed us the old one and the new one?
No, this is the original.
Okay.
This is the Revo Electronics. for the current one.
Okay.
And then if you pull up the other picture, I could show you the differences.
Oh, okay. Well, let me find that.
Unfortunately, I don't have one of those that's out of
There we go. Just give me a second here.
Here, while you're doing that, you could just say hi to this little puppy. Her name is Callie. She's a little miniature dachshund. So I know puppy cuteness is always good. So the commercial break for the doggo.
Aww.
All right. No, I want out.
the easiest way to tell if you can't get the picture up. So
nope,
on this,
I have it coming here.
Okay, on this corner, this is the speaker plug.
Hmm.
On the version from aristo-craft, the speaker plug was right here. So it wasn't orientated sideways. Yeah, so if you could zoom into that picture, you see the speaker plug is on the far right side there.
Yeah.
Right next to the trigger, and you see it's horizontal, it's not vertical. So that's the one that you need the patch for.
Okay. Yeah, and if anybody has any questions on what we went over on upgrading that, I mean, feel free to reach out to me. I've got our contact email in the description as usual, or you can even ask Nico.
Yeah, you can send me an email or message me on Facebook. 4trackrr@gmail. So just a couple things. We are still working on we're almost done with, and we're going to use, so there's the lowering kit for the two bay.
Let me zoom that back in again. There we go.
So that's the lowering kit, and sorry, Colin, but that's got the KD mount on it.
Hey, man, it's all good. No, dude. Hey, I will say this. Ted, my partner, who does all the modifications with me, he is raving about your product, and he thinks it is so great, and he's loved everything you've done so far. So, 906 or 907, whatever. We're still trying to better the hobby. So keep it up, man.
So I've been listening to you, and I've been adding 907 mounts to everything.
And I love that about you. Thank you.
Here is the actual part. You get a right and a left, obviously, and they're slightly different because of
the brake detail.
The brake detail and the brake bolsters. But you get a two pack set, and we're doing a video for this, and we're going to be using Andrew's car.
I forgot
in the video. So those are going to be coming on the market soon, and then we just started selling the FA lowering kit.
Ooh,
it's nice. It's nice, you guys.
And that bolts right in. I sold a couple to customers, installed them. They love them. I did Vinny's engine. Looks great. I mean, I posted a couple pictures and videos of that. And that seems to be a good product. I'm actually doing one other thing. Let me grab it really quick. I'll let Vinny talk if you want to mention anything you're working on.
I customized this hopper to look more prototypical with a upgrade kit from Dan Gilchrist, I think is how you pronounce his last name.
Gilchrist.
That.
I had not heard about that.
So it's a more updated, more modern looking walkway and more modern looking hatches to make it look more like a PS2 covered hopper.
Now,
it looks good.
Is there a website you can buy that from, or?
He's got it on Thingiverse.
It's on Thingiverse. So if you have a 3D printer,
you print it up. You mean like that printer I have that I haven't put together yet? I'll get right on that.
Yeah. After you do the review of the bolsters I gave you almost 2 years ago.
Yep. That's in the queue with about 10 other things there.
I can't believe you actually sent me the car.
And since this wonderful holiday weekend here in Ohio has turned into rain and like 47 degrees, I guess I won't be outside. So I should probably have all kinds of free time the next couple of days.
Yeah. So I had a customer ask me, this is my first run. It's a little bit off, but they wanted a Wooten firebox.
Ooh.
For the Pacific.
Oh,
So
Wow, looks good.
wow.
that's the original Pacific.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So that's
And that
just an add-on piece. Oh wow. Very
I'm
nice.
giving you the slow clap. That is well done.
Not done yet, but we're working on it. We're almost there.
That looks so good.
And it just pops right on. So you can take it on and off if you want. You don't have to ruin your car. But, yep. So it just makes it.
John Sinkovich would like to put an order in for that, I think.
Yep, Reading and New Jersey Central had the Wooten.
Wow.
But yeah, we're developing that. I gotta do. I'm waiting for Vinny to print something, and then that's going. The next version of this is going on the printer. I moved the walk here to the right position up here. Got rid of the walk there. Smoothed it out. So
Well,
that's it.
before you sell that to John, is it flip proof?
You might want to add a little dot of glue. But even if it pops off, you can just pop it back up.
Okay.
There is a right and a
John,
left.
John says he'll be talking to you about a few things.
Yeah. So, and then we still have all the other lowering bolsters.
Squishy flaps.
Oh, sure, yeah. You want to grab one of those?
Yeah.
So we've been actually playing with something else too, and Vinny's going to run and get it.
Hey, Kyle was asking if you could show the hatches on that hopper again. I think he was intrigued by that.
Yeah, it makes it look more like a real PS2 hopper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more modern.
I like
You
that.
can the square hatches, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
this had the square hatches with the bar, and
So was
you
the
want to
whole,
grab the other.
is the whole, is,
Yeah.
the whole, is the whole top of that a reprint?
No, this is the original top, filled in the holes.
Okay.
So I mean, if you have a stock car you want to do this to, you're going to have to do some repainting on the roof. But a lot of the hatch holes that were here were filled in, and then I mean, Vinny did all this. I have nothing to do with this.
Wow. He did a
Vinny,
good
how old are
job.
you again?
15.
Yeah.
Good
So
job,
that's
man. You're killing
That's
it.
the original.
yeah. Slide up there. So there you go. Drop down.
Wow.
Yeah, what a big difference.
I
So
agree.
all these bars here removed, all these hatches here removed. I had to fill in some of the holes here and actually drill 2 new holes for the middle hatches here.
Yeah, Dan did a really nice job.
Yeah, I
Hey,
gotta
this is
give
what
you
we're
2
talking
thumbs up
about.
for that.
And also, there's 2 pieces to fill in. Where are they here? The
Thumbs
holes
up
on the
for that.
sides.
Yeah, he
Oh,
did. Yeah.
okay.
Oh, wrong way. There you go. So it
So
makes it
two-
look a little more modern. He's doing. We already did the CSX negative, so he could paint it. So we could show you that again once it's updated.
Hey, this is what we were talking about earlier about, these companies realizing that there's an upswing in our hobby. We got 15-year-olds like Vinny here just making it. And, dude, that looks beautiful. I'd run that on my railroad just in its stock paint without you actually putting decals on it. It looks great. Good job,
I
man.
think that the manufacturers have to realize that, the older guys are unfortunately they're getting older and they're dying off. And the younger guys are, when they go and see trains now, they're not seeing the same trains that
Right.
we saw when we were younger, and that, they're seeing this modern stuff. And then they go into the market, and, the reason why Sean, I guess, switched teams there, but yeah, you can't, when there's not stuff available, it's either going to push you into a different scale or turn you away from it. So
Yeah, exactly. I have another question for Vincent. How are you making out with those intermodal flat cars that you're building?
Oh, the spine cars. Let me get
Yeah.
one.
he's almost there. So this is something. I was thinking about John Simkovich, and I was like, there's so many guys that break the plows on the front of the trains, right?
Well, when you roll them over,
Well, the aristo-craft, even, you rear end somebody else's train and snaps off, right? Check this out.
Get out of here.
Oh.
Flexible.
It's the flexible printing material.
That's neat. I've never
What are you
seen
printing
anything
that
like
on?
before.
So I'm going to send one of these to John to make sure they're rollover proof.
I was going to say, can we just print John's entire locomotive out of that?
So you, I mean, I can literally bend it, and it won't break.
Can bend it in half.
And that's from the filament printer.
Yep.
Huh.
So that's something we're thinking of doing. I don't know. We'll let your viewers decide. You know, is this something that you guys would be interested in because it won't break, especially for a part like this where people are always breaking these things.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, how well does that material accept paint? Does it have any issues with paint adhering to it?
I could print it in black.
Oh, okay.
Or blue.
Or blue.
We happened to just get a spool to try out that was blue. So yeah, like I said, you can flex it, and it goes right back to shape. Especially once it's screwed on, it's going to just hold its shape.
Jonathan says he wants one for his truck.
Yeah. And
we'll print you a bumper.
and I see Charlie said someone finally made the hobby John proof. We love you, John. We just tease.
So yeah, we were playing with that, because even when we 3D print these, they're still delicate because you got to keep the same thicknesses.
Yes.
So we started playing with that. We're thinking of maybe selling those this way. Hey, the biggest problem with painting this, you would have to use a flexible paint.
Yeah.
Otherwise, as soon as you bend it, it would just flake off. But there's so many color variations available in this that. This would be the last one you would ever buy.
Looks like Jonathan will take one of those for his Pacific.
Well, this is the Pacific Mikado one, but it also has the reveal for the coupler, which they never had. They never made this.
Bravo.
John
So
says John says print his in black.
Yes. I'll send you one, John. We'll test it out. You'll be our guinea pig, so to speak.
Very nice.
I have the spine cars here.
Yes,
nice.
I wanted to see that.
Here's the chassis. It's in black now, and I have the TTX logo stickers to go on the side.
Is that 3D printed?
Huh?
Is that 3D printed?
That's aluminum.
No, aluminum.
Machined aluminum.
Did you paint it or anodize it?
Painted.
Spray paint.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's all. He machined all this. If you could see the.
How did you machine it?
Was that on the drill press with the milling table?
Yep.
You're a brave young man, Vincent.
Wow.
And then here's the sides. All right, there you go.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
So these are also painted. I'm just finishing up the paint on one more set of the sides, and then it's basically final assembly, and they're done.
Yeah, we'll send you a
picture. See that done.
Yeah, we'll post a couple pictures of them assembled.
Cool. How many did you make?
3.
Are you
3 and they're sold, and he's not taking any more orders.
He's not taking any more orders, then, huh?
Wait, we got to start a higher like a bid war for the 4th one. We got to get this kid to college.
Yeah, for the right amount.
School.
Everything has its price, Vincent.
If you make a 4th one, we'll get you to college, and you'd be like free ride, buddy. You go wherever you want.
We're gonna once we get our next house, we're gonna get a milling machine and a lathe. This way we can do more.
Looks like John's telling you need about 35 more, Vincent.
Sounds about right.
Or you can sell the idea to Bachman or AML. There you go. Done.
He's been this is something that he started prototyping in plastic. Grab one of the plastic ones. He started actually prototyping this in plastic, and then one of our friends saw it and ordered 3 of them. But I'm like, you can't make them in plastic because they were bending and bowing. So he made them out of aluminum.
Smart. I did the
So-
same thing for Dan Gilchrist's center beam flat car.
Yeah.
He called for a polycarbonate, and at work I milled down 1/4 inch thick 6061 aluminum down to 5 mil.
Yeah.
And then I made the spine, and then I 3D printed everything else. So the aluminum just adds that extra low center of gravity weight. It's so
Yeah.
great.
That was the
Here's the first prototype that I made.
Oh my gosh.
wow.
It doesn't have trucks on it anymore, but it used to.
Dude.
This is all plastic.
Now,
the
will
only
your
thing I-
spine car be able to take a trailer or a container?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was just kind of curious.
All right, let's start a bidding
the,
war on the first production run for Finney's college fund right now.
Signed. We'll sign it so he can
Sign
sign
it.
it.
There you go.
The,
It's a collectible.
the metal ones will actually have the USA what's it called, fifth wheel for the trailers.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, you know, the folding down fifth wheel that comes on their piggyback car.
Yep.
Yeah, so we bought those so he could put them on the car. But yeah, so that's it, and we're starting a small layout in the backyard here. I know we're going to be in the rental maybe for another year or so. So house prices are ridiculous around here, so we're just going to keep renting for at least a year.
Yeah, they're ridiculous everywhere.
Yeah.
Just find yourself a decommissioned box car and convert it. You know,
There you go.
I see people building container houses. Why not a box car one, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
I can make that into my next workshop.
that's like my retirement dream, to have a caboose, a 60-foot box car, and a passenger car to live in.
You know, that almost sounds doable.
Yeah. Yep.
if you got enough money.
There you
Yeah.
go. But that's pretty much what we got going on right now, and then we're ready. We're heading out to Tennessee on
Thursday.
Thursday.
Are
Thursday.
you coming out on Thursday?
Yep, coming out Thursday for the show. Friday and Saturday.
Yeah. So don't
All right.
don't ruin the town before they get there, Sean.
Oh, okay. Too late. I'll be here until Friday night, and I'll be leaving. So, but I'll be spending the whole entire Friday night or Friday at the convention center.
Yeah, so we'll see you there.
Yep, sounds good.
Wonderful.
I've got one last thing, as you said, for the convention. That car will be there at the convention. I challenge everybody that goes to the convention, if you can take the best photo of that train car and tag Camarillo Pacific on Instagram as well as on Facebook. I'm working on a prize, so just so you guys know about that. But that's just the last thing, because I forgot to say that last thing when we were started on me. So thank you. Sorry, guys.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Well, all right. We'll move on to our next guest we're going to have on here. But Sean and I want to say, the three of you, thank you very much for coming on our show when you have and being on again. As Sean and I have always said, the guests are what really make the show, not Sean and I. That's our opinion of it, at least.
Thank you for having us on. We've had a good time.
Thank you, guys. It's been
Season
wonderful
2.
seeing you.
To season 2.
Season 2.
Can't wait.
Season 2. We'll be back. We'll have
we'll be back.
We'll have some new lithium
I'll drink
batteries.
to that.
Hey, here. All right.
I don't have any beverage here. I just got a can of Pringles. No, it's not a product endorsement.
Drink that. We'll see how that goes.
Those
All
were
right.
pickle flavored, I hope.
No, and don't buy the sweet corn flavored ones either. They taste like sweet corn, but it's just not the flavor you want in a chip. Trust me.
Oh.
All right. Thank you, guys. It's been good
Thanks
seeing
again.
you.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
All right. So let's see. Next on our list.
Yes, who's next?
Next we have, scroll through my list. We have the Zim Whiz, Charlie Zimmerman.
All right. Hello.
We
Howdy,
have Darren Warren. And
Hey, everybody.
somewhere we have Marty McFly wearing his life preserver. Hello, Harry.
Hi, everybody.
So, what do you been up to, everybody? Charlie, you want to go first?
Well, I've just been sitting here enjoying the show. I sat down with a brand new, fresh, clean boxcar,
Ooh.
and I decided to start weathering it. So,
Nice.
you're familiar with the show? I just started with a fresh boxcar, and
You know, Charlie, I never realized how simple it was to weather something until I watched the show that you did. I looking at, if you were to show me that car without showing how it was done, I'd be like, it probably took you forever to do something like that. But you weathered a car from brand new to looking great and within our show.
yeah, just sat down, opened up a fresh bottle of paint, some brushes that I still had laying here from the show that we did together, and went to town. So it's just that simple. And I think that Andrew, if you check your email, I sent him a copy of what the boxcar that we did on the show looks like today. I finished it off camera, off the show, and
Oh, that
sent
came up
him-
kind of weird.
yeah, that's
Let's
fun.
see here. Where'd that picture go to?
I don't know. What did you do with it?
That's a good question. Ah,
Oh,
there we
you
go.
always make,
We'll do it.
look at that.
We're not used to having this many people on the screen at one time, so apparently when the picture comes up, it doesn't work quite right. But let me zoom in on that a little bit. Whoop.
Take a look at the details.
I mean, wow, that's come out pretty nice, Charlie.
Well, thank you. So that's the car that we started on the show. You saw, that patch there in the lower right corner. That was the bare metal stuff that Sean was admiring as we were doing that live on the show. You saw.
That was a great. Yep, that was a great touch.
I demonstrated how the roof was to be done, so I did that then later by painting it a rust color, and then did the salt resist to chip that away. And there you have it.
Very nice. I mean, I don't know. I'm blown away by that, Charlie. I mean, I watched you on the show, and you make it look super simple. But I look at that and I just go, I don't know how the heck I would even do that.
No, you just need a couple paints, some brushes that you're willing to ruin, and have some fun.
Absolutely. No.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Just sitting here, working on another train car. Just like old home week here.
So do you have anything like special you have coming up, or you're going to be working on? Or
I've been doing a lot of live Steam lately. So when I first got into G-Scale, I told myself I was going to be strictly standard gauge. I was going to avoid narrow gauge completely. So of course, this past year, all I've bought is East Broad Top and South Pacific Coast and all that good stuff. So I've totally broken that rule, and I've gone headlong into narrow gauge. So I'm sitting here, got a couple nice narrow gauge. I've got a South Pacific Coast.
Oh, nice.
Baggage car. Yeah, so I've been working on getting into narrow gauge stuff here recently. That's been the fun, and mostly because of live Steam, because of the Grover engine that I have. I don't know if you read, if those of you out there in the fan world have read some of my articles in Live Steam magazine, but I have the Grover 040. There was a model railroader back in the 90s. So that's what really pushed me now finally into doing narrow gauge.
And that was an AML high cube, right, Charlie?
Yes. Yep. This is an AML. It accepts 906s with slack action straight out of the box.
Okay. I gotta say, I'm kind of liking that paint scheme.
Yeah, I saw it and thought, I could do a lot with that canvas. So I thought I went and researched some prototype photos that I found out on Google, looking to see where some of the rust spots appear, where some of the streaks are and stuff, just for a little bit of inspiration. And just sat down here, having a little fun, listening to everybody chat. hearing about Vincent's latest creations and where our hobby's going to be going, thanks to his genius.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with all the stuff that everybody's been making.
And I super appreciate your video there, Andrew, on programming. You know, that I bought one of the USB devices. I haven't used it yet. As you know, I have over 100 Revos.
Yeah, you got
I
a
have
few.
some of the ancient. Well, I have some before sound. I have some of the ones with the capacitor, or not the capacitor, but
The flux capacitor.
capacitors that blew up. If anybody's been into G-Scale for that long, the first capacitor boards that they shipped out exploded because they wired them backwards. So I have some of those still around because I fixed the polarity on them. So I've got lots of those, but I haven't upgraded anything yet. But you're going to inspire me to do that. So thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, no problem. It's something I filmed a while ago, and I was going to just make a regular video to put on the channel, and I thought, why not just do it on here on one of the episodes.
Well, you and I have been talking about an upcoming episode on decals and perhaps an upcoming episode on live steam how-to, both coal-fired and butane, and I can throw an alcohol in there as well just for a little variety. So that's something I'm looking forward to doing with you guys.
I'm hoping the live steam, I want to make my way over to actually visit you this summer sometime. It'd be nice to be able to come over and we could do something with that while I'm over there.
Outstanding. If those of you who've been here, when you've come to the house, you're free to run whatever trains you want. You're free to run any of my trains. Just stop on by, say howdy. So looking forward to having you again sometime, Andrew, and Mandy as well.
Yes. She's in bed already.
Lucky her.
Yeah. I start the show. She goes to bed.
She's a smart woman.
Hey, looks like Kyle's on board too already, but we didn't have to ask him. We knew he was already ready.
Yeah, you never have to twist his arm to come to my house and play trains. So, and of course, I'm wearing Conrail for you. Put this on, you guys. So
wonderful. Well, let's see who else we got sitting here. Well, let's see. Darren didn't like having to follow Harry last time, so we'll go to Darren next.
Everybody hear me all right?
Yes, we
we
can.
hear you.
Okay, perfect. Got a couple things I'm going to be working on. Hopefully have something ready for maybe one of the upcoming shows in the fall or later on. I want to go a little bit deeper into the Rail Pro, to the actual programming that you can do, the modular program you can do with the board, where you can combine your sounds, your lights, and any type of actions, relays, all that kind of stuff. You could write your own set of code, and they have a graphical interface for doing it. And just like any language, you got to kind of learn the code a little bit and learn the syntax. So that's one of the things I'm going to be working on. If you remember, when I was on the show, I did that caboose that had the guy waving and stuff like that. I recently, a couple weeks ago, came across this caboose that I've never seen before. It's a USA Trains Southern Pacific Police Railroad Police caboose.
If you get it up like right by the camera, does the
where are we at? Anywhere in there?
There we go. The camera was kind of blowing it out there.
All right, how's that look? Yeah, you can see the badge on it and stuff. Okay, so
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen it too, and I kind of fell in love with it when I saw it. And so I'm going to put some actual police lights up here, some blue and red gyro lights. The card that I'm going to put in this is actually going to be a sound card. It's going to have sound on it. So I'm going to, a little tongue-in-cheek stuff. I'm going to have a siren, like a police siren that goes off when you press it and the lights come on. Thinking about putting a police officer up here, maybe lifting a gun or something, and some shots going off, and just some little fun stuff, like that. So that's
you could actually have it play that song "Bad Boys, Bad Boys."
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I could be playing in the background. That's a really good idea. That's a good idea. So besides that, the other big thing that we're working on Sadly, I won't be at Nashville. Wish I could have made it. My girlfriend got a new job, and we can't get time off of it right now, so we gotta hang around here. But so we're spending the next 30 or 40 days working on our G Scale show for up here in Warren, Ohio. Um, we kind of missed the York thing that we all got together to, Harry and Andrew and all you guys, and we had such good fun and memory. So we're trying to build our own G Scale show in Northeast Ohio. We don't we don't really have one up here that's G scale. So we're working really hard to get our layout in like the best condition it's ever been in, so that when people come for the show, they'll get a free tour of our layout and get to see all that happening. We're lining up. We have We have a manufacturer table. So we got Pico and we got Bachman, and some other manufacturers is sending us literature and catalogs so we can line the manufacturer's table. We're also, I think I'm working with Colin a little bit, and I think he's got a presence at the show. And he might even virtual into the show to answer some questions about the cam packs and stuff. Still kind of working that out with him. And we have, I think, Kraus Hardware in our area is probably our biggest train store, I think, in the area. Their train store is actually 2 box cars that's connected to their hardware store, and you can actually walk from inside the store into the box cars, and that's where all their trains are. So it's something really cool to see if you get up in this area. But he's actually got tables, so he's bringing a bunch of G scale stuff. We got about 40 tables, and they're filled. If anybody else wants any, we're going to have to try to squeeze them in somewhere. So it's going to be a really good show. So, I've talked to a lot of the admins for some of the web pages, the swapping shops, and all those, and they kind of said they're going to help us promote it a little bit so we can get the word out. I'm going to put a list together of the hotels in the area and restaurants that we recommend and things like that. But so it's really revving up. So we got a lot of work to do, and it's going to be a great show. I hope as many of you can make it up here. It'd be nice to see all you guys.
Yeah, I'll get a pinned post up on the large scale trains group, and I'll get a link to that on the website as well, or largescaletrains.com website as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Other than that, we'll keep working on trains and see you guys in a few months.
Sweet. Harry, what have you been doing besides nothing? I'm just kidding.
Not a lot's been going on. One of the things that my wife and I did do over Mother's Day weekend was we went to the Columbus Franklin Botanical Conservatory. Paul Busey is a well-known architect or Garden Railroad designer in the area. It's in the Columbus, Cincinnati area. He's done a lot of work there. We went to the Franklin Conservatory to look at. They have a full Paul Busey Garden Railroad display there. So if anybody's traveling through Ohio and Columbus, I highly recommend the stop. It's well worth the visit. The layout's online. You can get a few pictures, some ideas. So that's one of the things that we've done. So if you're traveling to Tennessee and you're coming across Southern Ohio, be sure to stop by and see Paul Busey's Garden Railroad. It's really something to see. So
I got a short video you sent me of that, Harry. I'm going to try and download it here and see if I can pull that up.
Yeah, if you go online, they have a great few pictures and a video about it. But it really is worth actually seeing and in person, because the pictures online don't do a justification. It really is it's a wonder to see. So that's one of the things. I think some of the plans that I haven't done too much other than trying to get the layout cleaned up. I'm going to be doing an expansion this year. Hopefully I can get that done by September. That's the goal. I'm going to add an inner loop, and we're going to extend the outer loop. So again, if you're traveling through Northeast Ohio, you're more than welcome to stop in. If you decide to go to the Warren Show, you're also welcome maybe to stop in if I'm not at the Warren Show for the weekend. I'll have an open house or at least be prepared to host people if they wanted to stop in and see the layout. I am going to be doing a video. There's a good picture of it. It's all natural. It's all done by natural wood and sticks, and all of the structures are done with natural material. Everything from acorns to wood. Yeah. That's only a small portion of it. And believe it or not, I visited this on Mother's Day, and they had torrential downpours. And my wife and I were the only one out at this layout, and the trains were running. They had about 4 or 5 trains running through the layout while we were out there in a downpour. It was downpouring rain, and they were still running trains.
Go G scale.
Yeah, there you go. I am going to work on something with a Aristo-Pacific that I recently bought, where I'm going to try and document. The Aristo-Pacific engines are notoriously not having their wheels engaged, right?
Make sure you specify, Harry. We're talking the older runs of them, like the REA and the the real early, like what was it, like the gray box specifics, I want to say, right,
Exactly.
Charlie? I see you looking.
Yeah, you're talking about the ones that have the plastic side rods versus
Yes.
the metal side rods. That's
Correct.
the big distinguishing feature.
Yeah. So I am going to video what I'm going to do to repair or actually expand the wheels so they're engaged with the G-scale track. Right now it's jumping switches, and it's almost impossible to run on anything with switches. So I'm going to document that and probably put out a video maybe later next year, the beginning in the fall. I'll try and include you, Andrew, on that, and we'll see if we can't get something together that we can post it on the Consolidated Live. Okay, so that's really about it. I don't have really much to add. That's kind of an update, and just looking forward to running trains outside and having hosting people, because it looks like basically the COVID restrictions are being dropped in the Ohio as of June 2nd. So I'm expecting to be able to host some people over and have a few people over this year and run some trains.
June 2nd, I'll be moving in, Harry. Get my room
there
ready.
you go. So that's all I have. Thanks for running the show, Andrew, Sean, and thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Yes.
And once again, just like, with the guys before you, Charlie, Harry, Darren, thank you, all of you for, coming on the show when you have, and for being on again. You guys are what really add the quality to the show. You bring your talents, your ideals. It's very nice to be able to share all that stuff with everybody.
And
Thanks for putting this platform out there for everybody to both share their ideas as well as absorb ideas. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew.
Yeah.
If I could have 15 more seconds. On the last show that I was on, somebody asked if I could pan the room, and I didn't see that comment till after the show was over. But if you give me a minute here, this is my train room. I don't know how good the camera. We'll see. This whole side is all circuit. Let's see what's going on. There's a lot of military on this side, and I do have a layout underneath all that. Hopefully, I'm not making you dizzy. And then down at the other end is all the holiday, Christmas trains and stuff like that. Kind of the more fictional trains, and then that's the rest of the way down. And there's a layout with 2 tracks that kind of run around the room. So, all right, I just wanted to do that for whoever asked last time.
Oh, I'd say I've been to your house and I haven't even seen that, so it was nice to get a little bit of a tour of that.
Oh, there you go. Really? All right. Well, you got to come upstairs next time.
Well,
Be careful. The trick is getting them to leave. That's the trick.
All right. Again, lastly, thanks Andrew and Sean for everything, and it's been fun.
Thank you, guys. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, so I think we have at least 2 of the next 3 guys on here. We'll drop you guys down, and thank you again, guys.
Thank you, Andrew.
All right, let's see here. Okay, so
who's next?
we have Ralphie from A Christmas Story, all grown up. I mean, Jonathan Straczynski.
Ralphie.
We have Santa in his workshop, and
you'll shoot your eye out.
And we have that guy from Canada, A.
Yeah, A.
Now the show is officially in trouble.
This is where Sean finally gets his wish, and I get like a PG-13 rating or something.
Oh, it's great to have you guys back.
It's good to be back.
So, who's
Thanks
going to
for
go
having us
first?
back. What is it, 10 o'clock?
Yes, it is. It is 10 p.m.
All right, good night.
Hey, wait, take the camera with you. I want to watch you sleep. Is that creepy?
That's
I
weird.
don't know.
Yeah, that's a little weird. That's just creepy. Well,
So-
you know, Andrew, there is going to be a camper in the driveway, so you probably could, you know.
You know, I saw that camper. I think
don't come knocking.
Yeah, I was saying I think I saw that camper at RLD too.
Yes, you did.
I didn't go inside of it though. I was kind of concerned.
I'd be afraid. Be very afraid.
It's a biohazard. Anyway, biohazard.
So, I guess we'll start with you, Jonathan, on what you've been. I know what you've been up to, but
yeah,
what have you been up to? Hanging curtains. Just when he's in the camper.
Now, phase 2 is I'm hitting it hardcore, killing myself trying to get it done before our party July 10th. So no matter what, here you go. Here's your PG rating. Come hell or high water, we're going to be able to run trains on it.
All right.
So I just moved about 30 yards of dirt by hand because there's really no way to get a machine back there. So it's actually not even dirt, it's clay. So I don't even know if you can, I sent you a picture. I don't know if you can even get that up here or not, but
I was going to tell you, Jonathan, you know, if watching Deadpool taught me anything, you have to use maximum effort.
Maximum effort.
Maximum effort.
Yes. Yes.
Wear the brown pants.
Yeah. I don't have any pants on, Steve.
Oh, geez. TMI.
PG-13. You better get the black bar ready.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It only needs to
That's
be small.
8%.
The small one.
Beep, 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 beep.
Let's see here. So I should have that photo. I checked the photo to make sure that there was nobody without pants on in it. Let's see here.
Just don't zoom in.
All right. Oh, actually, I do need to zoom in on that a little bit. Huh? So this is where you
Hey, what's
started.
my wife's ride doing out there?
Her what?
My wife's ride.
Ride? Oh, the broom?
Yeah,
Is that what you're talking about?
Broom.
Oh man, now you made me say she's gonna hurt me the next time I see her.
So basically, when I moved all that clay into there, it was level with the railroad ties. And we've had a pretty good amount of rain in the last 36 hours or so, which is perfect because I needed that to get that to settle so I can start putting gravel in there. That whole section is the yard. And I want to make sure that the yard is perfectly level. So when you uncouple your trains, they don't roll away. And no, I'm not making it a hump yard, Andrew. That's no.
Hey, you know, I mean, if it's already got a slant to it, why not?
No slants. No slants. The show has gone into a dark area. Yes, it has. It's 10 o'clock.
You have now reached the after dark hours.
Yeah.
Right. This is the after party. There's a reason why we're the last three guests.
Right.
No, there's actually two more after you.
Oh, that hurts.
Right.
Well, you know, one of our last guests is going to have an update for us on the convention, so I figured I'd save him for the end so he can cap off the end of the show for us. So let's see. Well, you know, actually, I kind of know what all three of you have already been working on, but I guess got to ask anyhow. What are you working on there, Steve? Everything, right?
Oh, nothing at all.
Nothing at all. Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. Well, I've created some work for myself, right? So with the Freds and the caboose truck frames, also working on blunt trucks. You know, I had a few requests for these. I don't know if anybody can see.
Oh,
So like Vince and Neil experimenting with flexible plastics, I've been doing the same. Just because a lot of the fine detail stuff, you know, you look at it wrong and it wants to break. So. Still a few things left to do. Machining, suspension. I got a little strip of metal in there. What else? Buckeyes. This is another project. Eventually, I just bought a larger printer, so I'm going to be starting doing the SD40 wide cabs, or for the G40 38.
oh, nice.
This is just a test piece. I've made some changes and added, but the window frames are removable, just so you can paint them black rather than trying to mask it off. That's the plan there.
Do you actually ever sleep, Steve? I really wonder.
No, I just take the kids' ADHD pills and I solve all the world's problems laying in bed.
I'm trying to think what that movie was where the guy was taking the pill and it like unlocked like the full potential of your brain.
Oh, was it Unlimited? No, not
yeah, it was something
Limitless,
like that. Yeah,
Limitless or something like that.
Limitless.
Yeah,
that's
Not to be confused with Unstoppable.
yeah. The other
What
thing
time
I've
is
been
train
actually
time? All the time,
sold a
right?
few of these already. All the
What do you
time.
got?
Yeah, train time is all the time. This pilot for a Jeep 9.
Oh,
It's very prototypical. I sent Johnny a couple of these.
Yeah, they're still on the shelf.
Yeah, even the steps are prototypical size grading, see through. So direct replacement. Ones from USA trains are close, but not really.
looks like
No Dunbar.
Dunbar.
I haven't dabbled in die cast yet. That's probably going to be the next step, is to probably print out a prototype and then get them cast. But I'm a ways away from that yet. So much going on. It's almost need another one or two helpers. Lawnmower Man. Wow, there's an old movie.
Yeah. NSE. I'll even take a ribbing like everybody else. I do hope to use 30% of my brain one day.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you've been knocking out quite a bit of stuff, Steve.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get actually landscaper, and I gotta along that fence line. I gotta get a couple trees knocked out, stumps removed, fence repaired. What do you call it? Retaining wall, because I want to start building my outdoor layout. But this COVID stuff is just really putting a damper on things.
Yeah, it has for everybody. That's for sure.
Oh, I know. I got my first shot about a week ago. That just shows you how far behind Canada is from the U.S. So next one's slated September 8th. Hopefully, they get it sooner because I'd really love to cross the border again. I missed that. Actually, both my wife and I missed that.
Well, you'll have 5G then in September.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah. I see. Looking in the chat here, Dunbar was asking about 100-ton trucks with roller caps, Steve.
I think they're already available for printing on Thingiverse.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a lot of stuff on there already. I'm trying to do stuff that's not on there. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, I get it.
Why? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. The other thing I was wanting to do was maybe like 70-ton trucks or something like that. But kind of want to get away from that, start printing bigger stuff.
So you got a new printer. How big can you go with that?
Well, the one I got now is just the same size as the first one, the Photon S, which the LCD screen burnt out. But the next one is the Photon Mono X, and that is I could probably do 7 inches by 8 inches. So doing a cab, or maybe a couple of pieces for larger, let's say, rolling stock. I'd really, really love to start printing some rolling stock. But
now, Steve, are you going to be using your measuring tape or your wife's tape?
Probably my wife's.
Okay.
I've got tape measures everywhere.
But you can't find one?
Yeah, that's right.
I have Steve, I probably got about 10 tape measures around this house. And when I want one, I can't find one to save my life.
Yeah.
There's at least 3 or 4 in this room.
Somewhere. 2 in the truck somewhere, 1 in the bedroom. I'm sure there's 2 in the kitchen somewhere.
1 in the bedroom.
Yeah. Don't need it.
You never know what you might need to measure in there, I guess.
That's right. The drapes.
Yeah. This is a foot on his wife's measuring tape.
Yeah. 1 inch is this big.
That's right, buddy.
I was going to say, Slide Cat was asking if it was inches or millimeters, so I guess we have the answer to that.
Well,
so
it'd be like 40 millimeters.
I was going to say real quick here, Jonathan, I see we had a question from Train Brothers here on the battery that you use for your Rail Pro. Do you happen to recall? Let's see. What?
Well, which one? There were numerous.
Okay.
So there's a 10,000 milliamp in the ABBA set, what we call the Dancing Queen. That thing's like $120. The one that's in the big boy is about $100. And then in the trailing cars, those are all my screw gun batteries, which you can get 2 screw gun batteries and a charger for $100 on Amazon.
Now let me ask you, the screw gun battery, if you were to in the same engine use that versus one of the the custom made batteries, so to speak, does the screw gun last longer or not as long as the others?
So for the big boy, for example, the screw gun battery, I can actually hook a screw gun battery up to it to get it back home. If the onboard battery dies, I can put an exterior battery on to get it back home. Well, one of those 18-volt screw gun batteries on the big boy running full smoke and sound will only last about 45 minutes. However, I have run an RS3 with a screw gun battery at average speed, let's say 60 scale miles an hour, for 4 hours straight.
Okay.
So well worth it.
And I know the answer to this one, why he can't find those, is because you're using the MTH remote couplers.
MTH,
and
yes.
where do you find those at?
So I find those from Rayman 4449. I think that's the number on YouTube. You can get a hold of him on YouTube. Raymond Manley, I think, is his name. I can actually look on YouTube on my other device here.
Yeah, he's done a whole bunch of MTH conversions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rayman, Rayman 4449.
He's got a website. It's rayman4449.com.
Well, there you go.
Ray's Electric Train Works.
Yeah. So what's nice about those remote couplers, they're only like $16 a piece versus the ridiculous amount that KD wants and the ridiculous amount that Phoenix wants. And Phoenix couplers fall apart if you look at them wrong.
We don't need that.
Yeah.
So
and, I wanted to say one more thing before my internet cuts out one more time. It's been 2 weeks since I was on the show, and all the videos that Andrew showed on that episode about installing the Rail Pro, I'm actually going to be starting to drop those on my YouTube channel probably tomorrow. So I wanted to give Consolidated some time with that show before I put them on my channel. That's all I got.
okay. And sorry, I know I cut you off in the middle there, Steve, to ask that to Jonathan. Did you have anything else that was going on then, or things that you're working on coming up?
No, there's just a lot of stuff in drawing, but until I put drawing to print, I don't think I'll mention it.
Okay. I'm sure, as usual, whenever you do something new, we always see it in the Large Scale Trains group on our Facebook. So we'll look forward to, hey, by the way, I like that shirt you got on.
Oh, yeah. This old rag?
I'm just sitting here and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. What's that shirt?
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, I guess we'll move on to Santa in the workshop here. I'll be going to visit Santa next month.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Looking forward to you guys coming down. We're going to have a good time, I think.
Or we might all get arrested. I'm not sure.
Call him
That's
A,
the
call
goal.
him B, whatever. Just take it and go with it. So, first off, thanks for having me on twice. And, this is a good outlet for the hobby, because there's no outlet for the hobby. So,
We try.
yes. We're trying to get that PG-13 rating.
It'll make
That's
Dackman
gonna
very,
get rating just once.
yeah, Dackman will be very happy, because then we'll be on a level playing field again. And heck, that was even before our first show. That was just on your channel making an announcement about we were going to do the show.
Yeah.
Choose your words wisely, people. That's all I can say.
Yeah, you got that right.
We don't choose our words wisely. We just shoot from the hip and go.
And I just want to say real quick, I know we're running a little bit behind, but I know Matt, Ken, and James are still waiting. We'll be getting to you guys here real soon, guys. I appreciate you being patient. So what have you been working on anyhow, Sean? I mean, I know what just about all you guys have been working on, but I got to ask still because everybody else doesn't know.
Well, I've finally finished the rebuild of the motor barn. It got reinstalled today. I'm also trying to get the layout ready for when you guys come down for the invasion. And
The invasion. I like the sound of that.
the invasion, you guys are, well, if Steve was coming across the border, I guess it would be the invasion, but it's just us knuckleheads getting together having a good time.
Well, we don't want to mention anything about Steve using a rowboat to get across Lake Erie to come,
Yeah.
Well, isn't there a gale warning up just throw your sail up in the thing and just ride her across.
I'll ride across and pick you up.
Yeah, who needs to row anything? Just throw up a sail and go. You know. But no, I'm working on getting the last little odds and ends fixed up. I've got one building here that I'm going to be putting because you guys know I love signals and running them. So this is going to go inside this tower, and it's going to be powering, the next
Sweet.
the next batch of signals there.
Nice.
So, and all the signals are run on infrared. So, but I've got this signal's got to go in. I've got a dwarf signal that needs to be wired in. That's already in. I've got a NWCPL that is in and is powered but doesn't do nothing. It's just lit. And I got one other searchlight signal. And I did, and the Straz Spur is up and running, level and usable.
Just remember, he still doesn't understand signals, just so you know.
Well, that's why those switches are on springs. All of the
training wheels.
All of these switch stands have been relegated to the yard so that you have to interact with them. But all the main switches are now sprung switches. They have the Aristo and LGB controllers.
Does green mean go?
If you bust through it, you bust through it. I put guardrails up around the high curves so that you guys don't, when ABBA comes doing its Dancing Queen around the curve there at Mach 3.
Yeah, we don't want to see any.
You won't launch.
We don't want to see any grown men faint,
Well, and Jonathan's been down here before, so he knows how high those two curves are.
Now I got someone in the chat here, Sean, and I don't know if that's something that you can address or not. Okay, where'd the question go? Someone was asking about thoughts on remotely commanding the train's motion. I'm wondering if you want to comment and maybe clarify what you're asking. I think maybe they're asking about setting it up to where the signals actually operate the trains. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Yeah, the same people that make these detector circuits actually makes a control board that does exactly that. And this is Azra Tracks. These are great boards. They use very little power, and they work great. The infrared detectors actually work great in direct sunlight. So,
I'm kind of concerned now, Sean. Your wife wants to see all of us faint when we come down. I'm kind of afraid to run my stuff now.
She's going to sabotage the layout.
Well,
it will entertain her greatly, she says. Well, you know what?
Yes, I know it will.
If there's anything we do, it's making the ladies happy. So, if that's what we got to do, I'll just make sure I bring an engine I really don't like.
I can't wait to drink out of a Pioneer Woman cup.
Do what?
I can't wait to drink out of a Pioneer Woman cup.
Yeah, well, she's got some new ones.
Oh, I'm excited. Oh,
listen, she even went out and got the fancy little condiment holders for when we're cooking out on the grill, so everything's all. She's watching.
I know. She told me.
Jonathan, go ahead.
She told me already. Your wife and I talk all the time. I don't know where you're at.
So,
I just need to know, Sean, which side is the wrong side of the tracks, or do I just have to find out on my own?
You'll have to find out.
Oh man, I'm glad that Jonathan and Cody are getting there before me.
Yeah, well, we'll make sure that the layout's good and shook down before then. But no, everything's done. And like I said, I put your spur in because that was a good idea. You said there should be a runaround on the backside of the yard. So there is now a runaround the backside of the yard and a runaround track, so that you can actually disconnect on this end, run around it, and come in from the back and shove it.
I see.
Sean, you should give me $5,000. That's my next suggestion. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So we're planning phase 6. You know.
I see. DD Team RC actually clarified on her question from earlier.
Rail Pro.
But yeah. I will not deny Rail Pro is pretty magnificent at what it does. You know, and Sean is a fine example of it might be old and outdated. I mean, the technology might be old and outdated. Not Sean.
Right there.
That's like the first series Terminator. Jesus.
Right?
I was gonna say the Revo must be the
I'm
liquid
old,
metal
not
upgrade,
obsolete.
right? But looks like he's saying he's just getting in. He was asking if we could give some thoughts about what he could use for controlling trains remotely. Well,
Rail Pro.
yeah.
Rail Pro.
I mean, you
Get
have
out of here,
plenty of
Sean.
things. You have plenty of things to choose from. You know, I mean, you got Sean's old school. You got the Revolution. Obviously, the Rail Pro that Jonathan and Steve are real big on. Of course, there's we got Airwire out there.
Listen, don't be mentioning Airwire. Jonathan won't. He don't have that mess no more. He's not about that life.
Go into compulsions.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about it cost more.
like a crackhead with the DTs.
Yeah. I like Dunbar's comment there. Sean holding up his 1970 walkie-talkie.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
Hey,
your wife agreed.
Well, I wouldn't expect any less.
Yeah. And back to just what TD Team RC was asking, like 4Track here said, it all depends on what you want to spend. All of those different systems have their pros and cons to them. And obviously, the more functionality you want, the little bit more you're going to pay, give or take. I imagine probably the general consensus here, if you're going to ask Steve or Jonathan, they're gonna tell you Rail Pro, and I can't say that it's a bad option. The sounds that they have on it is pretty amazing, in my opinion. The customization you can do with it is really great, but it depends on what you want to do. If you just want to control the speed of the train, you don't want it on board. If you can find an old TE like Sean has there, I mean, those things seem to work forever for the most part. But
I have one. He can have it.
Yeah, myself, I'm a fan of the Revolution. I'm invested in it. It works for what I want to do. I would love if they would make more sound files. If they would, that would really kind of round it out for me. But it's all on what you want to do. I don't want to go too far down the path of which way you should go with it, because we're already running a little bit behind as it is now. I'm hoping sometime in the future we can actually do a show where we can demonstrate all the different things that are available, but it's a matter of actually collecting all that stuff. And I'm not going out and buying a controller and a board for every system that's made. So, between the connections that, and the friends that I have, at some point here, I should be able to, gather together the right people.
Weeks.
Yeah, this is true.
I mean, the TE's here. You've got Rail Pro. You've got Revo. And I'm sure Johnson's probably got a couple of Airwire things lurking about in his closet that he's ashamed. Look, he's like, no, they're not there.
I'm searching. I'm searching your closet the next time I come over. That's it.
That's kind of weird, Andrew. I will say this about Airwire. Airwire is very, very, very simple to install. Very simple.
I do like what Charlie had to say here in the comments, and I tend to agree with him on that. It would be kind of nice if Revolution would open it up, or even any of the other manufacturers, to where we could create our own sound files and even submit them to be approved to actually be official sound files. I don't know what all's involved in that sort of stuff, but as we've seen with community driven stuff in the past, a lot of times you get a lot of traction behind it. But yeah, you are right, Sean. We might be able to do something. I'm just trying to think if there's anyone that has AirWire or not that's going to be there. And actually,
I'm sure we're all looking at Jonathan. It's like,
oh, hey, look, there's somebody Sean. I thought I missed his comment earlier.
Yes.
The lunatic from Arno, Gus Hadley.
Yeah. Guess he'll be by. I'm sure. We always have a good time.
I always look forward to watching his videos. He, the best way I can describe Gus's videos is they're an artistic expression. Like, I'm not going to see a video like that on any other channel. He definitely does something completely different with them, and I really admire what he does with them. It's pretty simple to throw down a camera and take some video and then throw it on your YouTube channel. Gus actually sits down and does something with it. Like I said, the best way I can describe it is it's artistic what he ends up doing with it. And I just can't wait to see what he makes after we all come down to your house, Sean.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. I'm sure, But I'm looking forward to everybody coming. It's going to be a fun weekend. And we're going to try
a bunch of nerds videoing trains.
Yeah, and
it's going to be a bunch of nerds videoing trains.
And there's a problem with that. Why? Yeah, that's going to be.
And for anyone that's worried they're going to miss out on the fun, I will try to do a little bit of a live stream while we're all there running trains. So if you
rated R rating.
Yeah, I might have to make that invitation only. I don't know.
There's plenty of better ways here.
I'll up on my YouTube channel and Facebook and that when it gets closer to that, because right now I really have no idea what time of day that live stream would be happening. But as it gets closer, I'll definitely be sure to list something on there so everybody knows. And
Jonathan and I was out in the snow filming at night, so
I was going to say Gus is already excited. Your wife is trying to do bad voodoo on us. She's mentioning that word, Sean.
Yeah.
What? Unless it rains? I mean, Jonathan was out in the snow. What difference does rain mean?
I'll run my trains in the rain. I don't care.
Well, the backyard is covered with the trees now anyway, so if it does rain, we're not going to get wet because we're under canopy.
Exactly.
All right.
No sunburns, no getting wet,
Hey, you are still alive over there, right,
I'll just take them off.
Right.
Hey, Dackman, you're still awake, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure?
I think you just
Well, how far did you drive today, Dackman?
11 hours.
Ooh.
Straight. Yeah.
That's a ride.
That's sure it.
Yep.
So, just so I can move along here, because our last couple of guests have been waiting forever, I'm sure. Oh, okay. It looks like two of them are actually at the same place. That works out. So, I don't think I missed it on the last guys, but if I did miss it on Harry, Darren, and Charlie, I think we thanked them, didn't we, Sean?
Yes.
So okay. the same thing to you guys, and actually even more so since I'm friends with just about everybody we've had on the show, but as you guys know, we interact on like an hourly basis through the chat. Like, if that group chat goes silent, I get a little bit concerned. But
it just means we're busy, Andrew.
Yeah, but like with everybody
Some of us
else,
have to work.
Yeah, I agree, and I know it's past your bedtime, Jonathan. So I appreciate you staying up.
But if anybody's wanting to come, it's the 19th and 20th. No, that ain't right. Is it the 19th? Yeah, it's the 19th and 20th. Because you guys will be down. You and Cody will be down on the 17th for a shakedown.
For the shakedown.
For the shakedown.
Yeah, 19th is Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah. So 19th and 20th.
Okay. Well, like I said,
we're glad we're all. It's just
absolutely. But thank you all of you for coming back on the show again, and thank you for when you were on the show before. I mean, all of you guys came on and presented some pretty wonderful things for everyone. Everybody that watches always seems to learn something, and as the show's gone on, this is episode 16. I mean, it's kind of amazing the amount of knowledge that is dispersed amongst the community out there. Everybody, comes from a different background, and you guys are no different. I mean, you all have your own background, and you all contributed some pretty wonderful things to the show. So thank you, guys.
Are you tearing up, Andrew?
Me? No. See?
Oh, okay.
It might be time to get him a shop rag so he can, it's a moth.
Your makeup is
Well, I just want to say thank you for doing this. This is awesome. It's like Sean said, the other Sean, the Sean on not the Sean next to me, the next Sean. Now the Sean next to me.
Yeah, that's the Sean.
This guy.
Over here.
Now you're just I was going to say a rose between two thorns, or a Jonathan between two Seans, I guess, right?
He's in the middle of a Sean.
Can you stick your hand up, Steve? Let's do a high five.
High five.
There you go.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
No, but seriously, thanks for doing this. This is needed. It really is needed.
Yeah.
So
That's
anything to advance the hobby. Anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Can I go to bed now?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Thank you very much.
It's officially no pants time.
After the camera goes off, and so Jonathan, don't stand up yet.
Well, we just passed PG-13. We're going straight for R.
Now I want an A&W root beer after I saw a shirt. I'm telling you. All right.
Placement.
Thank you, guys. I'll drop you off here now so we can get on to the next group that's been waiting patiently forever, it seems. All righty. So we have our last victim's guests, I would say.
Okay.
So coming to us together, we have Matt Russell and Ken Miller. I'm not sure what Matt Russell's doing out of Illinois. I didn't give him permission to leave.
Oh, no.
And then we have James. For good Pete's sake, Catlin.
I'm very forgettable.
It's been a long night.
It's been a long night. You didn't even drive 11 hours, and I remembered his name.
Yeah, something's wrong when you're on your game, Dackman. What's going on? What's Sterling giving you? Has he got like some sort of like mystery drugs over there or something?
Yeah.
So,
for Christmas.
what?
I would like to have a holder one. Oh, I had run it one time.
What have you been up to, James?
At the green. Well, I know some of you know that I got hit with the COVID half a month ago or so, and so I'm still recovering from that. haven't worked a regular job for several months because of all the stuff that's been going on. So now I'm doing my job, my hobby full time. Basically, I spend 10 to 12 hours in here. Right now, I haven't been able to spend a lot of time on my part of doing my stuff because I'm doing things for everybody else. I've got 2 projects right now where I'm doing action figures, transformable action figures, and making molds and parts for those. So I have to focus on those because those are 4-figure, jobs. But the funny thing is since I've had the COVID, or since I've been back in the shop, I've been doing a lot of 129 scale, which it's not my hobby. So 132 is what I've been doing. But I have had a lot of people contact me for replacement parts, particularly for the aristo-craft Pacific. And I don't know if you can see this, but one gentleman wanted, these are the handrail stanchions, keep breaking. So I made him sets of those. And I'll be having these up hopefully eventually on my my website. So as far as replacement parts, another gentleman was really complaining because of these breaking all the time. So I've already sent the one that I made him out, but I'm making them out of brass.
Ooh.
So this is one. I'm making 4 of them right now, and I'll have those up on the up on my site. So they, that's one of those things that he's had it. He hasn't had any more problems. But of course, that's a lot more than Nico's little rubber ones. So these are quite pricey. I mean, it takes a long time to make that. Another one I've been working on is brass replacements for the USA Trains well hole flat cars.
Oh, okay.
This is one that I haven't started it yet, but it should be a fairly easy make replacement. So I've got 7 different parts for the Pacific up on the wall right now that I will be putting up on my website. So that's basically mostly what I've been doing as far as in G scale stuff. For myself,
what's your website again, James?
It's Decathlon Design. Square.site.com. So if you type in Decathlon Design, it should pop up because it's the only Decathlon design that I've ever come across. The other thing that's specifically that I've been working on as far as in large scale is my TOFC cars. This is the suspension for the 27-foot pup trailers. And it actually has a fully functional trailer hitch here that actually opens and closes for the dollies.
Stop geeking out, Sean.
I'm working on I've decided pretty much since I do 132nd scale and I'm not really motivated to do 129 scale stuff, that I'm going to be concentrating on the steam era stuff, because the steam live steam guys, gauge 1, are 132nd scale is really big both here and in Europe. And there's a lot of, I've had several requests for particularly Eastern style cars like the X29 box car. I'm going to be coming out with a kit for that. I have had 2 requests for me specifically to make a 129 scale car. So, and I've already done this in 132nd scale. This is about 25 years old. This is a GSC flat car. It's got the full welded underframe.
Oh, okay.
My trucks, as you can see here, the bearings are missing on this. I've been doing some stuff, but the bearings actually turn. And all my cars, one of the nice things about it, a lot of people complain about plastic, but all my cars have a 3/16 inch steel rod cast into the frame. So it gives it a little extra weight. And so I'll be doing that, at least that one car, and see what happens for the GSC flat car in 129 scale. I've already got 2 of them that are taken, so we'll see what happens. Other than that, it's just working for other people, and I haven't been able to. The one thing that I have done for myself recently that's is this. It's my RS1. I just got finished. There's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's about 12 to 14 different castings in the side frame. And then I built the motor block. And the only thing in here that's not mine are the wheels. And hand building the rest of it. So yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be decorated for the Great Northern. They used to run all their diesels long hood forward. So that's what a little bit of what I've been working on for myself. But like I said, I've got all these projects for other people, so that's what I've been doing.
Very nice. And I'm glad to see that you pulled through the COVID stuff as well. Obviously, it's good to see you're doing well. That's really caused a lot of issues for a lot of people.
Yeah, I was really surprised because everybody kept saying, social distance and everything, and I've been in this. I'm 20 feet below my house, so this is a second sub level, and I don't go out. I haven't actually had a driver's license for. I was trying to get a commercial driver's license 6 months ago, and because of the COVID and other stuff, I just never got around to finishing it. So I haven't had a driver's license since February, and so I left the house, but I still got the COVID, And one of the other members of the family brought it in, and it was rough, but I wouldn't have any problem going back out regardless of shot or no shot or anything like that, because I refuse to let fear stop me. But the point is that it wasn't as bad as, like I said, it was rough, but
yeah, it all depends on the person,
Yep, that's true.
All right. So do you have anything else that's coming up you're going to be working on, James, or?
No, I'm going to try and get this 129 scale flat car out, because like I said, I've got 2 people that want it so far, and I'm trying to push forward on getting my motor blocks done. I've got all of the EMD motor blocks. I've got the masters done. Since I don't use a 3D printer, everything's hand built, or hand machined. So I got all the motor blocks done for all of the EMD locomotives. I've got the AAR that you saw on the RS1 there. I've got the trucks and the motor blocks done for the S2, which is basically the same as the RS1. They just added that front end on, the short hood, lengthened the frame. So I've got the blunt trucks, and they've got about 8 different castings parts on those. I've got, and all of the motor blocks are basically made. I just have to get the molds made so that I can make duplicates of them. I've got them. And my goal now is to start getting the gearing and the motors. I've got the motors and stuff to go in them, but I just have to get all the gearing done. So it's more engineering stuff.
Okay, wonderful. And I look forward to seeing that flat car. Is that something you're going to have listed up on your website, did you say?
Yeah, I've already got the 1/132nd scale flat car listed up there that has the wood deck.
Which I have that one. That's a really nice car, by the way.
And I've got, I had 4 others up there, and they're gone now. They went. And so now I've got to start making some more. And the nice part about doing it with the resin the way that I'm doing, even with the casting thing, is I can keep the price down between $50 and $75. So, and I think once I get, I do have trucks for the 132, and I'm actually, if I'm going to do the 129 scale flat car, I will have, I'm going to make 132nd scale roller bearing trucks to go along with that, so I can keep the price for the car, even with the trucks, below that $80 threshold.
Very nice.
And it will have all optional bulkheads with it as well.
Real quick, 4-Track RR was asking if you're casting the gears for your trucks.
No, I plan on there's several places that actually do custom stuff like that. So I will figure out what gears I need, and then either go with one of those, or I may go directly to Pittman, because Pittman, I forget who it was who told me, but the motors that I'm going to be using are the Pitman motors. So if Pitman will help me design the gears, then as long as it doesn't cost an arm and a leg, then I'll be doing good. But I know basically what I need. I just don't know how to do the math. Math is not my strong point. So that's what I'm going to get the help with, is all the little, nitty gritty stuff like that.
Wonderful. All right. We'll see if Matt and Ken are with us here or not, and see what they've been up to. Let's see. Matt, Ken, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. I wasn't sure if you guys knew you were on the stream or not there earlier.
Yeah.
Just hanging out.
Hanging out. So,
Tell James we love the Burlington engines. If he ever wants to get rid of them, we'll take them.
No problem.
I'm sorry, what?
We love the Burlington engines. We'll take them if you want to get rid of them.
Even in 132?
Yeah.
All right. Well, the thing is I've got the molds for all of them. I can duplicate them anytime. In fact, all my SD45 back here, my SD40, they all use the same cab. I use the same mold. I've made everything modular. So when I want if I want a GP40, I just cut the little hump off the back of the GP38-2, drop the a piece in there, put the dynamic brake in, and I've got a GP40. So if you're ever interested and you want a locomotive, just give me send me a message and we'll see what we can do.
We'll do. Take that.
Sweet.
I've got 3 S2s here that I'm working on right now, and I'm going to paint 2 of them for the Great Northern, but I'm going to sell the other one once I get it finished.
Yeah, I always look forward to what you're working on, James. I look forward to what everybody that's come on the show's been working on, honestly. I'm actually really truly amazed the different talent sets and everything everybody has. So I was going to see. Let's see. Well, we'll save Ken for last because he's got the bigger news update, I guess. But what have you been up to, Matt, since we last seen you?
Oh, about 180.
180.
Yeah, that's about it.
I wouldn't have guessed it. You've been working on your layout, haven't you?
I've been looking at making maybe a second main line on my layout at home, trying to find out if I got room or not to do it. Nothing's really progressed much on my layout. I'm still waiting for that contractor to come back and fix the concrete.
Ooh.
I'm guessing he's not coming back at this point. It's been like 4 months. I'll have to fix it at some point. But that's pretty much it. Not a whole lot of action. I even ran a train in I don't know how long. Just down here.
Well, you're at Ken's house. I'm hoping you're going to run a train there at least, right?
I got to see one run.
Hey, that counts.
Yeah.
I know. When I saw you at RLD, I kind of felt a little bit inferior. My train, it seemed kind of long until I saw the one you had hooked up. It just went on forever and ever and ever.
I don't break that long anymore. I try to keep them 35 cars or less. That's so much real estate. They used to be 50 plus cars long. But
So, let me ask you something. Are you still doing any more weathering right now, Matt? For people other than yourself, or?
No, I've not done anything else since the last 3 engines I did. I've worked on a couple of mine, trying to fix some of the mishaps I made, but other than that, I've not had a whole lot of time to work on anything. I'm nonstop. So I'm hoping next month. Supposedly, I'm off in July, and I hope I get that month off. Last year I didn't. If I do, I'll get some time to work on some train stuff. So fingers crossed, I can get some things accomplished in a month.
Yeah, I always look forward to when you put a new video up on your channel. I don't know. Once again, with the weathering stuff, I watch everybody do it. They explain how they do it easily, and then I don't know. I see the finished product, and I'm like, I just don't know if I can do that. Especially those -9s that you did. Those came out beautiful.
Thank you.
So, well, Ken, who's been waiting patiently to be last all night long, do you have anything going on you want to tell us about? I don't know, maybe something with trains or.
Well, let's see. I've been waiting on him to take a whole engines home to weather. They're still sitting down there at the top, so I got to get my plug sitting here. Well, let's see. What can I share with you? Well, I started vacation last Friday, not this past Friday a week ago. So I think I shared a little bit about the railroad when I talked to you before. So on average, I work about 14 hours a day. Since I've been on vacation, I've been up at 4:30 in the morning and stayed up till 11 o'clock at night trying to get this railroad ready for the convention, which starts tomorrow. This is my 5th drink, just in case you want to know. PG-13. Sorry.
You've had too much when you're not vertical anymore. It's okay. But as long as you and Matt go the same, towards each other, you'll hold each other up.
That's right. So my railroad, believe it or not, we're going to be ready. I get about a few hours in the morning, and then I head straight over to the hotel for registration. Our block on the hotel is full. Our events are full. We got just a little bit of wiggle room if anybody decides to come at the last minute. It's going to be a great convention. We've got 33 vendors. Oh shit! I can't think of the word.
Because you're PG-13. It finally happened.
All the clinics. Let me have one more drink and I'll get it all straight. There's going to be some great clinics. Yeah, well, it's going to be a good convention. Are you here, Sean? Are you in town yet?
Oh, I'm in Chattanooga right now.
Oh, you are? Okay. Oh, well, you're just a hop, skip, and a jump from us then.
Yeah. I'm at my friend's Ravenhawk's house. He's got a YouTube channel, Ravenhawk 6910. So I'm actually in his studio in Georgia, just 20 minutes past. But he brought me from my hotel in Chattanooga to here in Georgia. So he's going to take me back tonight. But yeah, I'm in Chattanooga.
Oh, remember Rule G. I'm drinking as much as I can, you guys.
If I get a PG-13 rating, I'm really not going to be too worried about it because I know it'll make Sean happy, and then he won't be able to hold it over my head anymore that I got him a PG-13 rating.
But yeah, we're in for a great convention this week. I think we've tried to cross every I and dot every T to make sure that everything goes off without a hitch. Not to say that there won't be something to happen, but these bigger clubs that have 60 people to help put it together. We're only a club. Well, we have a huge we have a big club according to the internet. However, there's only about 30 active members, and everybody's excited. Everybody's been working on their railroads here. Everybody's charged up. They're excited to share what they've got to share this week. So I hope a bunch of you guys are coming, and we're going to show you some good Southern hospitality down here. There's just I can't wait to share my railroad. There's a few surprises that will happen on my day on next Wednesday. So I have to tell you that I can't thank all my neighbors, my friends, my family. Everybody is pitched in to make this a big success for us. So
well, it's not like you guys haven't had to overcome multiple hurdles in the process.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you had the tornado last year, and then this year, right before it, you had flooding.
So this is in the 5 years I've been at this residence. This is the 4th time to rebuild the railroad. 2 floods, a tornado, and then April, we had the massive flood here that took out over half of the railroad.
Mm.
And just so in case anybody wants to know, if it washes away again, this will be it. So you're supposed to be able to enjoy your hobby. And, as much as I love building the railroad, I have I'm getting a little older now, and I'm tired. So
I completely get it.
I hope I've made it a good railroad this time, so that doesn't happen. So.
Hey, all you can ever ask is give it the old college try, and you've done it multiple times. So
Yeah.
I'm just crossing my fingers that nothing happens until after the convention's done. But I'd rather prefer nothing happens to it.
We're all up, free.
But
all right.
I'm unfortunately the way things worked out for me, I'm not able to make it down for the convention, but I am looking forward to. Of course, Sean's going to be there taking all kinds of videos like he usually does. So I'm hoping to enjoy his videos when he gets done with them. But it sounds like you guys have a really good convention laid out. I think everybody that's already down there or going to be going down is really going to enjoy themselves. I mean, it looks like you have a lot of great layouts on display, a lot of other event things set up.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this because this is going to be my second NGRC convention that I'm actually covering. So it's kind of exciting. Because I don't know the next time an NGRC will ever come on the East Coast again. So this is something I definitely want to do.
Yeah, Denver is in line for next year, followed by San Francisco. And then we will do the protocol thing and open the floor up during our banquet next Friday evening for the following convention. And my hand will not be in the air, in case you want to know.
We'll just hook like a rope, to a pulley, and someone will raise your hand for you. No,
no. I'll raise my hand for a toast, but that'd be about it. So.
Just make sure you're paying attention, Ken. So when they say whoever wants to volunteer, step forward, everybody else doesn't step back, and you don't hear, and you're the last guy standing there. Just pay attention.
Now, Ken, you mentioned that you're going to have your layout open longer than what's on the actual schedule.
Right. My schedule, I'm on next Wednesday. Most of the layouts will end at 2:00. Reason being is temperature. So, of course, we've hit summer now. The temperatures have been up near 90. So most of the layouts will end by 2:00 during the week. On Wednesday, my layout will be open till 6, and I'm going to speculate maybe later than that because beside the convention, we have a ton of extra guests coming. I won't say who. It was not me. We have a lot of media coverage, not only on my layout, but some of the other layouts. And of course, we're using that platform to promote the vendor hall at Opryland for the end of the week. So,
cool.
Now, do you have a lot of vendors coming in at the vendor hall?
We chose 3 years ago to make it a multi-scale. So, best of my knowledge at this point, we most of it, of course, is G scale, but we have some that's coming in O scale, HO. One of the vendors is doing remote control boats. So we just wanted to make it open and interesting.
That sounds interesting already.
Yeah. The people that are on the tour to see the steam locomotive that was in Centennial Park here in Nashville that is currently under restoration. It'll be the last public appearance to get to see it until the wheels come back. They are taking the wheels off of the locomotive here in about 3 weeks and shipping them to Chattanooga to be restored. and they've got a whole big program down at the train museum that they're going to present to everybody. Goes down. The buses will all go there. If you're driving, their directions on getting there for their presentation. They'll also have a booth set up at the convention center as well.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Most every day, since everybody's coming to Music City, most every day you're going to have the music through the whole program this week. Live music here at my home during my day. So everybody, I hope as many can come, will come, because it's going to be a great convention.
Yeah, sounds great. Now, when your layout is open until 6, is it for the public, or if it's only to the public till 2?
The club, we had to post the club the convention till 2, and the reason it's posted in the book for 2:00 is most of the people that are coming to the convention have purchased tickets for the General Jackson Showboat dinner tour that night. So they have to be back at the hotel ready to get transported to the General Jackson that evening. So that's why it's posted for 2:00 only here. That's why I put a retraction in that if anybody else is running late or wants to come by here, see the layout, or even come run. I did post several years ago that I would have open running on my layout.
Cool. Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Wonderful. Well, I think that about wraps our show up for the night, guys. Yes. I think we've officially gone the longest we have ever gone on the show, maybe, or close to it. We're I know. Ken and Matt are in what, Central Time?
Yes.
So it's 11:06 on our end here. So, but yeah, I see Kyle in the chat snoring. Well, just like with all of our other guests, Ken and Matt, both of you, thank you for being part of our show, and once again coming on again tonight, being on before in the past. You guys, just like all the other guests, have all contributed greatly to the show, because if it was just Sean and I sitting here, it wouldn't have gone anywhere. And of course, James is sitting there as well. I'm not forgetting about you, James.
Hold on, I got a question for Ken.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna level this back out so I don't forget about James again.
Yeah, but Ken, did he just say you're on Central Time?
Yes, sir. That's right. If you're in if you're in Chattanooga, you're in Chattanooga. You're on Eastern Time right now. As soon as you the mountain, you'll be on Central Time.
I'm glad that came up because I didn't realize that.
Remember to adjust your flux capacitor, Sean.
Yeah. Track an hour as you come over the mountain.
I wanted to thank those in the comment section who said they glad I'm feeling better. So it's just I thought I'd say that. Everybody that said glad I'm feeling better. It's definitely good to be better.
It's very true.
We on our behalf and everybody else's, we thank you for doing what you're doing to keep it going. We want to keep the hobby going as long as we can. And I put in my opening letter for the convention that we want to be sure and try to promote this hobby to our younger generation. And we appreciate everything y'all are doing to keep it going.
No, thank you, guys. This is definitely when Sean and I, when Sean had to convince me to do the show, I didn't really think that we would have made it through 16 episodes of it. That's for sure.
Wow.
But it's definitely time for a little bit of a break for the summer.
Oh yes.
And it'll give us time to come back in the fall and have ever, all of our guests and everything lined up and kind of planned out what we're going to do. And I hope you guys and all the other guests we had, will come back again and bring us some new stuff as well. And I'm hoping to get some new people we haven't seen and heard from as well when we come back in the fall. But thank you again, guys, very much. We really appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank
Sean,
you.
Myself.
you this week, and Andrew, I'll make it to RLD in the fall. I plan to get up there in the fall. So
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make sure I get back to that. I don't know if he announced the dates for that yet or not. I'll have to look, but
as that I'm aware of.
okay. No, hopefully I'll get to see you there then.
I hope so. I hope so.
And I know the convention's now, but hopefully I'll make it down your way again one day. And
Please holler at me.
I did want to say
absolutely.
one last thing, if I could.
Yeah, absolutely.
I found out today that my 129 scale superliner trucks finally made it to Belgium.
Belgium.
Yes, Carl Lambrex is making the Amtrak superliner cars.
Yeah, I saw those. God.
Yes, so my trucks, he's been waiting for those for quite a while, and there's like 30 castings on each truck, and now he's got to go ahead and put in his electronics into them. But so hopefully he'll be showing those off again with the new trucks on them.
Wonderful.
I'll tell you, saw your message. Look forward to meeting you this week.
Yeah. Sean's not going to come back the same man after he crosses time zones. So
We're going to try to show Sean a good time down here in Nashville.
Oh yeah, we'll have some fun. And before we close out the show, I just wanted to have my own little. I wanted to say something on my own, and I wanted to thank all the guests that have been on the show. Thank all the viewers who stuck with us and, learning as we learned and trying to make the show better and better each time, what people expected. A big thanks goes out to Andrew because he actually took this show to the next level, the next step with all the technology, which is above and beyond what I could have even done. I mean, he's pretty much made the show what it is now. I mean, yeah, it was an idea I had spun off on him, but he just went that extra step, and without him, this show couldn't be possible. So I thank you, Andrew. You deserve it.
Thank you, Sean. I just do it because you keep pushing me, Sean. That's all.
And the last person I want to thank is, of course, Ravenhawk6910 for allowing me to use his studio tonight in Georgia.
Yes. And as he said in the chat, great show. Now get out of my house.
Some of us have day jobs, Sean.
So
it was a pleasure. Glad you can make it down, and we will do this again.
Oh yes, this was fun.
So.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, everybody, and everybody that's stayed with us this long tonight. All of our guests, everyone. Thank you very much. And actually, the very last thing, Sean, we did talk about our date that we're coming back, right?
Yes.
And that is going to be September 18th, correct?
Correct.
So mark your calendars. September 18th this fall is going to be when we're going to come back with our first episode for season 2 of Large Scale Consolidated Live. And we look forward to seeing all of you when we come back. But don't be strangers. Sean and I will still be doing videos.
Yes.
Hopefully Sean won't be in Ravenhawk's house still, but so all right. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you a little bit later on in the year.
Okay. Bye.
Good
guys.
night, everyone.
Bye.
Leaving the building.